Okay, so connecting to Tuscany, I come from a town, Orvieto, in the center of Italy, which basically is located among three regions. We are in Umbria by 5 miles. We are 5 miles from Tuscany, and we are 2 miles from Lazio, the region of Rome. So it's a privilege for me to live within these three wonderful central Italian regions. Therefore, the very first tour I organized, that guided by, um, was this tour, the Umbria Tuscany or Central Italy tour, like it used to be called before we changed the name. But the tour is the same. I mean, Umbria, Tuscany, and a tip of Lazio region, a taste of three fantastic regions of Italy. And we are thrilled to run it every year. And it's a tour that I cannot not run every year just because I have so many friends and I love these places so much that I cannot not be in Arezzo for a while, or Cortona, or Tarquinia, or Bevagna. It's impossible. So I have to run the tour. So if you want to join me this year or next year or in 2 years, the tour is going to run. As long as I'm an active tour guide, this tour it's kind of my baby because it's my home backyard tour. As you can see, we have the two main regions of the tour: Tuscany, big Tuscany, and small Umbria. Umbria, my region, is kind of the little cousin of Tuscany in a way. It's the green heart of Italy. And then we have a few day trips into Lazio. The tour begins in Cortona, the town under the Tuscan sun. Some of you might know the beautiful book and movie with Diane Lane called Under the Tuscan Sun, but Cortona is way more than the movie, of course. Cortona is one of the 12 capital states of the Etruscan Federation before the Romans became Roman. I mean, we're going to learn and talk so much about these things. Begins in Cortona, 3 nights. Then we explore Arezzo. We explore some beautiful areas of southeastern Tuscany. Then we go to the deep south of Tuscany, to the Maremma area, to the area of Sovana, Sorano, Pitigliano, and we explore the Maremma region and coast of Tuscany, the wild region of Tuscany, with a beautiful stop at the sulfur water springs of Saturnia. And then we move into Umbria, where the region of my region, the region also St. Francis of Assisi, a much more popular Umbrian than me, but also a region famous for its food. And then there's going to be day trips in and out of Umbria into Lazio. And of course, we will finish in Orvieto for 3 nights. This is me guiding in front of my hometown cathedral, Orvieto, considered one of the most incredible pieces of art in Europe. The facade of this cathedral speaks by itself. And I swear I didn't pose for this picture. It was taken while I was doing my gesture presentation of the cathedral. I know the photographer. He's a good one. He made me look very nice. Inside the cathedral, we have the art of many masterclass artists, among which Luca Signorelli, which was born and died in Cortona, Tuscany, where our tour begins, and made his masterpiece in Orvieto, where our tour ends. So for those who like art and Renaissance art, this is a must-go tour. This is, for those who like meat, these 3 regions, Tuscany, Umbria, Lazio, in different ways, master meat of several kinds: beef, pork, lamb, chicken, and many more varieties. This is a beautiful dish I had in Cortona, one of my favorite dishes on the tour. Anyway, olive oil, rosemary, mixed grill, good night. A glass of Brunello, good night. This is our group. Last group we did this Umbria Tuscany tour. We just crashed into this wonderful little wine corner shop. It was kind of a little shop where the owners, brother and sister, they do everything by themselves. They make their own wine. Also, they sell other wines, but they make their own wine. But they also make their own cured meats, cold cuts, cheeses. And trust me, we didn't want to leave. We just went in for a glass and a snack, and it was like 3 hours in there. That was unforgettable. And it's now part of my tour for sure. What I also like about guided by tours is that us guys design the tour, and some things we can even do to improve the tour as we go, as we run the tour. This is the beauty of having a 15 people group or even smaller, and be in charge of the organization of the tour. Because if I say, okay, this place smells incredible, we got to go in, I don't care, we go, you know. And sometimes usually the guide has a good nose for these things. That's why a guide is interesting. So a tour organized by a guide is really one of the main reasons why I love being part of this wonderful guided by team. Olive oil of Umbria, Tuscany, and Lazio are the three regions in Italy where, across the board, among experts, the quality of the olive oil is the best because it's the most versatile, and the acidity, oleic acidity of the olive oil is the lowest. Therefore, this kind of olive oil you can put anywhere you like. You can use it for many, many reasons, for food, but not only food. You can also use it for cosmetics and many other things, and it's just incredible. This is the color of the freshly pressed olive oil. This is a 1 second old olive oil, and it tastes heavenly. So with my group, we got to put the slice of bread underneath the oil and put it in the mouth. That was the best bruschetta ever. This is my friend Antonio, who gave us a taste of the just pressed olive oil. This was a couple of months ago when this tour happens. This tour happens usually only during the fall, because in my area the fall is the season when the best harvest and the best dishes and the best cuisine comes at its best. So I think it's a perfect time for the year to visit this place. Lots of incredible walks and unknown areas of the three regions. This is us exploring the little village of Sovana, the back street of Sovana. Sovana has two streets. So one is the main and the other one is the back street. And then we do a real truffle hunt, as in 2-hour hike up the mountain with the dogs and with Ale, my friend Ale, up the mountains in Campello sul Clitunno, in the central part of Umbria. My friends, this is an experience that you will remember for life, because it's a truffle hunt, but we go really up the mountain with the dogs, and we have a snack on top of the mountain where Ale, Antonio, and his friends, they scramble eggs for us and shave truffle and olive oil on it. And bye-bye. This is unbelievable. Just that is worth the day on tour. It's unforgettable. Rainer knows what I'm talking about because he was there with us. It's a primo experience. Also, the cheese and the salami, by the way, are pretty incredible, but that's another story. Cooking class, of course, one in Umbria, Tuscany and Lazio. There's no way you don't get a cooking class. And here we're learning how to make the fresh pasta dough. And then we got to learn all sorts of shapes of pasta. I think that day we did 12 different shapes of pasta, because once you know how to make the dough, then the shape of the pasta is designed in specific ways to collect the sauce. So depending what kind of sauce you want a shape rather than another. That's why all the thousands and more shapes of pasta. Italians are obsessed with food, but also each design calls for a specific kind of sauce. That was us. I was translating because Marco, the chef, the cook, he speaks English, but not as good. So he said, I'm not going to speak English because then they'll keep laughing the whole time and then they'll learn anything. So he spoke and I translated. This is some of us cranking the dough, like doing an awesome job and having a lot of fun. As you can see, we had a blast. This is my friend Leonardo. When in Porto Santo Stefano, we have a seafood lunch, which is a feast. It's like a wedding feast. And that's us looking at the table. He's cleaning us the fish, the fresh fish, and with the roast potatoes. It's a never-ending seafood experience. We go to the Saturnia waterfalls, as I mentioned at the beginning. We take a bath into this wonderful warm water falls that have been used in use since ancient Etruscan and Roman times. So for 2,000 years, these are public baths where you go for free, and you just simply sit in the hot water and relax with your friends. And there's a cool kiosk bar next door where you can also get changed and get a cocktail, a sandwich, and spend some time. October and November is an amazing time also for photographers because you got colors and special effects. In this case, it was a morning where we had this unbelievable, unforgettable mist rising from the valley onto the Tuscan hills. This is part of Tuscany, the area near Arezzo. These are the Etruscan tombs of Tarquinia, the best preserved fresco tombs from the 7th to the 2nd century BC. And we get to visit them with one of our local guides. All the local guides are selected by me, and they're all, in my opinion, they're all excellent. So I try to deliver as much as possible quality, like all my other guided by colleagues. This is, in fact, Isa, our local guide in Tarquinia. We just got to meet the archaeologists that had just found a collection of bucchero. They discovered a new tomb and they took out bucchero, and he's wearing the gloves, entering the museum with a piece. This is something that only in these places you can explore. This is an original bucchero coming out of the ground after 2,500, 2,700 years of oblivion, and it's being polished and brought to the museum. And probably they're going to take a long time to display. But anyway, these are experiences that are memorable for a lifetime. Wonderful wine experiences, wonderful tastings. Food is not a problem. When in town and when my bandmates are available, on my left, Gabriele, on my right, Valerio, we get to jam some live music for our group when possible. Not always, but when possible, it's a big deal for me to get my tour member friends meet my band, and we have a little bit of fun over there before dinner. And of course, panoramic views and many other wonderful sights. This is me with the backdrop of my hometown, Orvieto, and the Orvieto Valley. And so anyway, I welcome you on any of my tours. This is my last tour presenting today, Umbria, Tuscany. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank Rainer and all my colleagues at Guided By for these wonderful presentations. I'll still be here for Q&A. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the presentations. And if you need questions, I'll be a Q&A, or that's my email. Grazie. Ciao.